I would like to take you back to a period of time about 20 years ago. In the early 2000s, people within this community started meeting each other in person for the first time. Groups were small at first, about 30 people or so, engineers only, a mix of professionals and hobbyists. This photo was taken in 2007, during one of the first editions of the govcert.nl meeting. It was a first edition that had gotten a little bit bigger, but as you can see, most people still fit in the photo. And the theme of this event was, are you a master of your own identity? The year 2007 was also the year multiple people told me it was then when cybersecurity started to get something of significance for the Netherlands. The conference was still mainly focused on the computer emergency response teams from all over the world. And one of the first organizers said to me, I had to talk the hind legs of a donkey, or as we say in Dutch, ik moest praten als brugman, to get the decision makers to fund the event each year. Now, the whole community itself, however, had already gotten international, and people would fly in for the event because it was so nice to exchange ideas and to make connections on a personal level. The event itself didn't have an official name yet, and back then, as I said, and as you all know, cybersecurity wasn't a topic of much importance yet. Organizers really had a hard time to convince decision makers and politicians of the importance of the topic, so a new formula was applied. And topics were formulated in a way so that also decision makers would be intrigued. And then, of course, the DigiNotar crisis hit in 2011, which, according to many, was when the topic of cybersecurity really gained importance tremendously. govcert.nl became the National Cybersecurity Center in 2012. But the event stayed, and the event grew. It got bigger, the event got a name, which was a deliberate choice to communicate we are all one. Technicians, policymakers, decision makers, and we are in this together. Hence, the One Conference. 10 years ago, in 2013, Minister of Justice and Security Opstelten opened the first edition of the One Conference and also launched the first national strategy on cybersecurity. At the same time, another event took place called Alt-S. Hackers who felt like they weren't included decided to then just organize their own conference, but more on that in a moment. All this to illustrate how fragmented the domain at the time still was. And it was true, we lived in different times. There were even Russian speakers on the stage back then. The organizing committee grew further. The Ministry of Economic Affairs joined, the municipality of The Hague joined. In 2017, there was an 11-year-old on stage who showed how he had hacked his electronic teddy bear and had gotten it to say whatever he wanted. Speaking of diversity, between 2017 and 2021, diversity within the field and thus within the one wasn't great yet. In 2022, however, the lineup was 50-50 in terms of sex of the speakers. And this year, simply by going for the best keynote speakers, the team at one point looked at each other and said, hey, all of the keynote speakers in this 2023 edition are women. Exactly. Which of course shows tremendous progress. In summary, what started as a really small meeting for just technicians turned into you, a vibrant community of people who come from all kinds of angles. CSIRTs, intelligence professionals, law enforcement professionals, politicians, decision makers, companies, even the hackers who organized that shadow conference in 2013 will be on the stage at the One Conference today. And still, no marketing and no advertising is allowed. We all know relationships and trust are built in peaceful times. So you know when and how to find each other in times of crisis. And we hope that this event contributes to that goal even further. So welcome again to the 2023 edition of the One Conference. My name is Irene. I have the incredible honor of being your host for today and tomorrow, and I would like to briefly introduce myself to you so that you know who you'll be dealing with for the next 36 hours or so. I am a psychologist and mediator with a background in entrepreneurship and technology. 10 years ago, I led the international expansion of Dutch company Dopper, which makes the reusable water bottles, to the United States. I lived in San Francisco for 3 years. I got acquainted with Silicon Valley, and for the past 10 years had all kinds of roles in the Dutch and American tech ecosystem. My last 3 years were spent at Quantum Delta NL. Now, the photo that you see in the top left is of 2.5 years ago. It's when the team heard that the Dutch government would invest 615 million euros into our initiative to further scale the Dutch quantum technology ecosystem. So I know a thing or two about quantum, and I'm super excited to learn more about your domain of cybersecurity in the next 2 days. In an event which has a program that looks as follows. We are now in the plenary hall, where all the keynote speakers will present. In between the keynotes, there are multiple tracks with speakers in 5 different areas, and you get to choose the program that you find most interesting. But also, there are breakout sessions. There is an expo on the first floor with 28 booths. There is a matchmaking area. There are lightning talks during the breaks. There are various side events, and there is a talent hub. So there is a lot in the next 2 days. And of course, you can find the program in the app, on the website, and on the really big banners downstairs. The core of this event, however, of course, is connection. And since this is all about connection, I say we kick off by doing just that. And I have a question for you. What is your motivation? Who motivates you in this line of work? Who do you try to protect? Who do you innovate for? Who do you do it for? Please turn to the person next to you, and I want to ask the technique to turn up the house lights a little bit. We're going to take 90 seconds, and please discuss this question with the person next to you that you don't know yet. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Pretty big question to discuss in just 90 seconds, I understand. And luckily, there's plenty of more time for networking, discussing this question, and of course, other questions. Are you ready to open this event officially? I would like to welcome someone to the stage, a very special person here to open this edition officially. Please welcome the mayor of this beautiful city of The Hague, Jan van Zanen.